A world that's complete.
Ugh, for real. I wish I'd gotten more content out of this.
She just said what I thought after I played this DLC, and it pissed me off. Harder than when the ban-tyo Digimon finished off the final boss. This is lazy design, and I love the base game. But this is tragic. They would have been better just adding the Digimon as DLC and not having the content. At this point, I really hope DLC Pack 3 is not the same as DLC 1 and 2. The DLC is sitting at mostly negative on the reviews, with people unhappy about this DLC, and I agree. Okay, I'm going to try and talk about this without sounding like I'm just shouting into the void, but I'm not going to lie, DLC Pack 2 for Digimon Story Time Stranger genuinely annoyed me, because I'm coming at this as someone who actually likes the base game a lot. I'm not here because I want to hate on Digimon. I'm here because the base game is fun, the loop is addictive, the battles are satisfying, and when you love a game, you naturally want more of it. So when you see episode Pack 2, you expect an actual episode, right? Like a little side story with a bit of meat on it. Even if it's not massive, you expect something that feels new, something with its own vibe, its own flow, something that makes you go, yeah, that was worth it. But what I got felt like 30 to 40 minutes of content. And honestly, a big chunk of that wasn't even meaningful gameplay. It was padding. It was running back and forth, loading, talking, running back and forth again. And the whole time I'm thinking, is this really what you're selling as an episode? Because this doesn't feel like an episode. It feels like a side quest stretched until it squeaks. And the biggest problem, the thing that makes it impossible to ignore, is the recycled rooms and recycled assets. I don't mean, oh, it has a similar style. I mean, it straight up feels like you're being marched through the same handful of spaces, over and over, with the same walls, the same layout energy, the same corridor into a box room vibe. And it's especially frustrating because the DLC keeps forcing you to go back and forth so much that you don't even get a chance to mentally move on. You're stuck staring at the same environment again and again. Go in, fight, leave, talk, go back, talk, go to the next one, and the next one looks like the last one. It's like someone copied and pasted the dungeon and just swapped the door you enter from. And look, I get it. Games reuse tile sets. I'm not naive. But good design hides that. By changing pacing, by changing encounters, by changing how it feels to move through the space, by adding set dressing, atmosphere, story moments, anything that makes you feel like you're progressing. DLC Pack 2 doesn't hide it. It puts it front and center, and then it builds the entire structure around backtracking, so you're forced to see the seams. And what makes it worse is that if you played DLC Pack 1, you can feel the pattern. DLC 1 already had people complaining it felt thin and repetitive, and DLC 2 feels like it learned the wrong lesson. Instead of going, okay, people want a more substantial mini-adventure, it feels like it went, okay, we can do the same thing again. And that's where I start calling it lazy. Because it's not just that it's short and padded, in the least enjoyable way possible. The whole experience is this repetitive loop, where you're not exploring, you're doing errands, it kills momentum, it kills excitement. And it's wild, because the base game has enough fun mechanics that you could make a short DLC feel great. Without needing a huge budget, you could do a compact new area with a different theme, you could do a mini gauntlet with escalating fights, you could do a weird challenge dungeon, you could do a story that actually lands emotionally, you could do something creative with the systems that already work, but instead, we got this awkward treadmill, where it feels like the DLC is terrified you'll finish too quickly, so it makes you jog between recycled rooms to inflate the clock. And yeah, I finished it, and I had that exact wait, that's it feeling, not because I wanted 10 hours, but because what was there didn't feel like it justified itself. And the story doesn't save it either. I'm not going to sit here and pretend every Digimon side story needs to be some masterpiece, but this one is just bland, it's thin, it's the kind of plot where you can tell it exists mostly to give you an excuse to go from point A to point B. It doesn't build much, it doesn't deliver many memorable moments, and because the environments are so samey, the story needed to do more heavy lifting to keep you engaged, and it just doesn't, so you end up feeling like you're doing a checklist. Talk, run, fight, run back, talk, run, fight, run back, talk. And when you're already annoyed at the recycled spaces, that bland structure becomes even more obvious. And here's the part that really gets me, because this is where it stops being just disappointing and starts feeling kind of insulting. I genuinely think they would have been better off just adding the Digimon as a straightforward Digimon pack without pretending this was some proper episode, because if you told me honestly, here's 5 new Digivolution routes, here's the new Megas, have fun experimenting, I could at least judge it on that. I could say, okay, do I want these Digimon enough to pay for them? Yes or no. But when you attach a so-called episode, that's basically a recycled hallway simulator with padding. It feels like you're trying to justify the price, by adding content that isn't actually good content. And that's why people are mad. It's not just about length, it's about value. It's about the feeling that this was made with minimal effort because it doesn't feel designed, it feels assembled. And if you're thinking I'm exaggerating, the Steam reviews kind of tell the story for me right now. Episode Pack 2 is sitting at mostly negative, and DLC Pack 1 isn't exactly doing amazing either. So it's not like this is just me having a bad day. It's a pattern people are noticing. And the thing that annoys me the most is that this doesn't have to happen. The base game is proof that the team can make something fun and engaging. That's why this stings. Because I wanted to be excited. I wanted to finish and go, yeah, grab it. It's a nice bonus. And instead, I'm sat here telling people, if you're buying it for the episode, you're probably going to feel ripped off. If you only care about the new Digimon routes, and you don't care about how they deliver it, maybe you can tolerate it, but if you're expecting a real mini-adventure, you're going to notice the padding instantly. And now we get to the big worry, DLC Pack 3. Because I'm not even trying to be dramatic, I genuinely hope DLC Pack 3 is not the same as DLC 1 and 2. I hope they actually take the criticism seriously and change the approach, because if Pack 3 is another short recycled back and forth episode in the same style, it's going to do more damage than good. It'll make people stop trusting the season pass, it'll make people side-eye future content, and it'll drag down the reputation of a game that honestly deserves better. I want Pack 3 to feel like someone cared. I want at least one distinct new area. That doesn't scream copy-paste. I want the structure to move forward, instead of constantly forcing you to backtrack, like you're delivering letters. I want fights that feel intentionally designed, not just dropped into identical rooms. I want a story that has a point, even if it's short, something with a hook and a payoff. Because right now, DLC Pack 2 feels like it exists to tick a box, not to enhance the game. And that's why I'm disappointed. It's not because I hate Digimon, it's because I like Digimon, and I like this game, and I want it to win. So, yeah, if you're thinking of buying DLC Pack 2, my honest advice is wait for a sale, or at the very least, go in with your expectations low. Treat it like you're paying for the Digimon routes, not a meaningful story chapter, because as an episode, it just doesn't land. And if the devs ever hear any of this, I'm not asking for the moon, I'm asking for basic effort and respect for the player's time, because the base game earns that respect. DLC Pack 2 doesn't, and I really hope DLC Pack 3 proves me wrong and finally gives us something that feels fresh, because I want to be excited again, instead of feeling like I just paid to jog through the same recycled rooms one more time. And if you liked this video or disliked it, let me know below and in the comments too. See you on the next one.